Triple H was right when he said on the Austin podcast over a week ago, WWE is the book that never ends. It never ends. He's right. But that book's got a few repeat chapters. And we are in one of those chapters right now. The Yes Movement, once again, could be the beginning of a repeat of last year, of where Daniel Bryan, once again, because of popular vote, gets himself into the WrestleMania main event for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. And I'm not mad. I say over and over these last few weeks, I don't like to sound like I'm healing Daniel Bryan. I'm still going to tell you right now, Daniel Bryan should not be in the main event. Let him do the match that was rumored for about 15 minutes with him and Dolph Ziggler. These guys talking about fighting each other on social media, this and that. Give that to the people, because you know what? They'll be happy with that. It'll service them. Those two guys can steal the show because Bryan doesn't need to be in the main event. But that's just my opinion and my reality. If it in fact happens, if we end up having Daniel Bryan versus Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 31, there are a few options here. One option is Seth Rollins ends up cashing in the Money in the Bank that night, and he's the guy who walks out with the title. That's one option. Another option is Daniel Bryan wins the match. You cannot have Roman Reigns win this match, and you cannot have Brock Lesnar win this match if it is a triple threat. If Brock Lesnar ends up beating both Bryan and Reigns, then it's been a complete waste of having Lesnar as this champion since August. Even if he wins it and then he drops it the next night on Raw, I just don't like it. It's so un-WrestleMania fitting to have this big bad heel champion walk into Mania and then walk out, especially if Brock in fact is close to being done with WWE and does go back to the MMA world. But you can't have Roman Reigns win this, because if Roman Reigns wins a match that has Lesnar and Bryan, you can't expect even you can't expect the legit supporters there of Reigns. You can't expect them to be able to celebrate and let that be heard. The Yes Movement will drown that out. And I'm not debating that Daniel Bryan is probably the most popular babyface and most legitimately over babyface in the company. That's great, but it doesn't mean he needs to have the title. He is not an underdog anymore. He is a proven main eventer, and I want him to use that proven main event status in the future to work with another new proven main eventer in Roman Reigns. But Roman Reigns can only become a proven main eventer if he straight up 101 beats Brock Lesnar. If Roman Reigns wins a match with Lesnar and Bryan in it, then people are either going to not even pay attention to Reigns, they're going to pay attention to the boos and or yeses, or it's going to be, well, Reigns didn't do it, it was all Bryan's work. It's just too convoluted. So if this is going to end up being a triple threat, then Bryan has to win it, basically. Or you have Seth Rollins come in and somehow take the title, or try to take the title and fail at it. But the bottom line is the goal for WrestleMania needs to be, you want to have as many top proven main eventers as possible. So by the way, everybody has people to work with. You don't want to just have John Cena and Daniel Bryan, or you don't want to just have Brock Lesnar. You want to have as much depth on the top of that card as possible. That's why the Attitude Era was so good. The Attitude Era wasn't good because of sex, drugs, and rock and roll back in the 90s. The Attitude Era was good because there was so much quality talent that it took guys who could be in a main event, and some of them were working down in the middle of the card. There was quality everywhere from top to bottom of the show, and you want to try to create as much depth on top. And you already have Bryan up there. You already have a Cena up there. You already have Brock Lesnar up there. So let's continue working and stay the course and make Roman Reigns that guy. Roman Reigns, his height, his look, his stature, and a big-time fight feel against Brock Lesnar, it could work. Are there going to be some people that boo Roman Reigns? Sure. Are there going to be some people that cheer Brock Lesnar? Sure. You cannot please everybody. It is not that black and white anymore in wrestling, but you can still get the point across that Roman Reigns is now a quality proven guy, and he's worth the time of a Daniel Bryan or John Cena or a Brock Lesnar or Randy Orton or Triple H. If Roman Reigns is in a triple threat with Bryan Lesnar, then you're squandering all work that has been done up to this point with Roman Reigns. Believe that. We got a lot to talk about over the next hour. 412-320-7925. And if Kanye West calls up and interrupts me, brother, I ain't going to be as nice as Beck. It's TribLIVE Radio.